What's going on, everyone? So let's talk about the De'Aaron Fox situation. Now, De'Aaron Fox could potentially be playing his last year with the Sacramento Kings. He does have the potential to qualify for a Supermax. If he does, I do believe he sticks around with Sacramento, right? Get your bag, figure it out later. However, if he doesn't get the Supermax, I do believe he is gone. It makes no sense. Look, many of you are familiar with the conversations that I had about Sacramento, as well as the Minnesota Timberwolves. Sacramento, I have been right on probably more than any team in the NBA, including the Lakers. I have been the last 3 years, I have been spot on with Sacramento. And I talked about Sacramento got worse. The last thing that Sacramento needed was a isolation half-court scorer that can't defend and doesn't shoot threes and provides nothing to their pace. Sacramento, every season, are one of the highest teams in pace, transition, volume of three-point attempts, right? They had a clear path, right? They were on the road to contention, and instead, they decided we need somebody that is the complete opposite of what we actually needed. Right? So many people were trying to tell me that, no, Sacramento's going to be great. They're going to be this. How? They have zero size, zero defense. They're literally looking to outscore you. They didn't need that. They needed to stay the course and wait for some legit 3 and D wings. I know every team in the league needs that, but they could have gotten it through the draft. They could have gotten it through trades. They have assets. They have pieces, right? Can you upgrade Harrison Barnes or whatever? And instead, they went the complete opposite direction. It's an absolute mess. Problem is, though, they're essentially stuck. Who's taking on DeMar DeRozan in that contract? The Lakers wanted DeMar DeRozan, and I was one of the people that was like, hey, DeMar DeRozan would be great. Not at 20 plus million. I even said when they signed that contract, I was like, Lakers just dodged a bullet. Because yes, I like DeMar DeRozan. And what's the difference between DeMar DeRozan on the Kings or the Lakers? Well, the Lakers don't have a De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. They don't have that guy you can just give the ball to and go score. But I also said that I had questions and concerns about the fit. How well does DeMar DeRozan fit alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Because he doesn't shoot threes. But I figured the juice was worth the squeeze, and it was worth a chance to take, especially if you can get him for the mid-level exception. Because he's probably tradable at that point, right? If it doesn't work. 20 plus million a year, how many teams need DeMar DeRozan for one? And two, how many teams are going to trade to give up that and give you a piece that you need? Right? They're stuck. Right? That's the problem. But the question that I get, of course, because this is a Laker channel, is Tyler. Will or can the Lakers get De'Aaron Fox? Can they? Sure. Will they? Probably not. I would be incredibly surprised. The only way that the Lakers would get De'Aaron Fox is if De'Aaron Fox publicly in the offseason goes, I want nowhere but the Lakers. The Lakers are the only team that I want to go to, which I don't think he would do. Now, him and LeBron James are kind of questionable. How does that fit work? Him and Anthony Davis as your two stars going forward post LeBron would chef kiss, right? I mean, you're talking about a legit athletic point of attack guard that can go get you 27, 6 and 6, right? And you pair that with Anthony Davis, who he's a defensive monster, right? Anthony Davis and De'Aaron Fox, I think make a ton of sense. I would love for that to happen. The Lakers just don't have the assets to compete. They don't. They have no assets to compete against these top teams. Houston could easily outbid us, right? The Spurs, I think De'Aaron Fox makes a ton of sense. Him and Wemby kind of feel the same way about, him and Davis feel the same way about him and Wemby. That could be tough. And they have the assets and players and whatnot to pull off that deal if he wants out. The only way the Lakers have a legitimate shot at De'Aaron Fox is if either A, Sacramento is foolish enough to let him hit free agency and then the Lakers just sign him, or B, they end up having no choice because De'Aaron Fox goes, hey, trade me to the Lakers or that's it, right? That's the only team I want to go to, right? Basically pulls in Anthony Davis and forces his way, which he is Klutch if I'm not mistaken. So that is a possibility. Again, like I say all the time, never say never in this league, right? if I told you 10 years ago LeBron James was going to be a Laker, people would be trying to cancel me off the internet. People would be like, you're delusional, you're an idiot, you're this, that, and the other, right? And then if I said, oh, yeah, by the way, Anthony Davis was going to join LeBron, people would have their pitchforks, trucking along to come after me, right? Like, it would be a mess. I'd be ran off the internet. But guess what? LeBron James and Anthony Davis ended up being Lakers. Guess what? LeBron James and Anthony Davis won a championship as a Laker, right? So, again, never say never. We've seen enough. Right? Like if you told Miami fans, hey, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh were going to be together, people would think you're crazy. Kevin Love, Kyrie, and LeBron would be in Cleveland together, right? Oh, Kevin Durant's going to join the Golden State Warriors. There are time again, we have seen what nobody thought would happen ends up happening. Or things that were like, there's no way that's impossible. And then it's like, how did they do that? Right? Like, it happens all the time. So never say never. Again, De'Aaron Fox is clutch. So there is a very real chance that he could force his way there. However, I think it's very unrealistic. I think it's very unlikely. But like I said, never say never. Now, let's go under the assumption that it does happen, right? What does that mean? Right? Well, you'd probably be looking at selling everything, right? Like you'd probably have to trade Connect. Now, if he basically forced his way to the Lakers, Lakers would have a lot of leverage, but do they pull a Paul George? Because you got to remember that. Lakers could have traded for Paul George, but they were like, why when we could just sign him outright? And then somebody else took the gamble on him, and he ended up staying, and that was OKC, right? And the Lakers ended up missing out on Paul George, right? Do they take that risk with De'Aaron Fox? Big difference, though, when, Rich Paul is his agent. He's like, hey, stay the course, buddy, right? Like, and can tell other teams, like, hey, he's going to, you trade for him, he's going to Lakers, right? That's what they did with Anthony Davis, right? Teams wanted to trade for him, and he was like, you can trade for him, but I'm telling you, he's leaving. Right? Like it's not going to be one of these like, oh, well, maybe he could stay. No, you have 1 year with him and then he's gone. Right? So maybe they could do that. If that's the case, then the Lakers would be in good shape. I mean, you'd still have to give up something, right? Like they're not just going to be, if you're basically giving them 2 seconds, we'll just let the money fall off the books at that point. But if you were to trade, say, both first, probably give up Austin Reeves. Essentially, to me, give up everything outside of Dalton Connect, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Those are the only three. If you want whatever you want, here you go. It's yours, right? Here's all the picks. Here's the pick swaps, right? There is concerns about, De'Aaron Fox declining just because of the type of player he is, but you got a good 5-6 year. You got at least, the Anthony Davis window, if not, maybe a little longer to kind of work it out and figure it out. You'd be in good shape. Lakers would be great, right? Between De'Aaron Fox, Dalton Connect, that could literally be your front court. And then you have Anthony Davis down low. Go get a center in free agency. Go get whatever. Or, if LeBron sticks around, then there's your power forward. You got 4 or 5. Just go get, can you just get any type of 3-and-D wing? Maybe if they pull off the trade for Dorian Finney-Smith this year, right? Keep him in the trade. Right, so literally you could have say De'Aaron Fox, Dalton Connect, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. You're probably one of, if not the best teams in the league, right? Because De'Aaron Fox, talk about 27 6-6 guy that can defend, be point of attack. You're in good shape, and you got the all-star athletic guard that can compete with all the others in the Western Conference. So again, if there's any chance that the Lakers can get De'Aaron Fox, you go get De'Aaron Fox. I just don't think, I don't want the Lakers to wait for that, right? I don't want the Lakers waiting around, hey, you know what? Let's not make any moves this year because, hey, De'Aaron Fox might be available in the offseason. No, do not do that, right? We've been burned so many times doing that. Make the moves, make the trades that you need to make, and then figure it out later. If De'Aaron Fox really wants to be a Laker that bad, they'll figure it out. Worst case, you finish, this year and next year, and then you just LeBron could take a discount and you could sign or just unload, whatever, right? There's options there. There's flexibility. You figure it out. But you do not wait for De'Aaron Fox. Again, I think that there is about, like, never say never. So I'll give it a percentage. Like, I think you have like a 5% chance that De'Aaron Fox is a Laker. And the only reason it's that high is because he's clutch. If he wasn't clutch, I'd be like, 0.01%. I'd be like, you got a 99.99% that he's not going to be a Laker. The other kind of, I guess, caveat that's worth mentioning is, like, how many teams would need a De'Aaron Fox, right? Most teams already have their all-star guard or that. But there's enough teams that, or could upgrade, would look at it as like, hey, yeah, we got this guy, but we could upgrade. Like Denver, right? Like Denver could be like, hey, we'll give you Jamal Murray and whatever else they have, right? Like, and Sacramento might be like, you know what? Like, let's take Jamal Murray so we can at least be competitive. Like, I don't see it personally. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that De'Aaron Fox and Klutch will kind of force his way to the Los Angeles Lakers? Could you see De'Aaron Fox in a Laker jersey primarily because of Klutch? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, pass a question on you. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.